Hello, it's Ben with the DIY Homefront, and I am coming to you from my kitchen. And that is where the problem is today. It's with my faucet. It's been slowly leaking water out of the little spray nozzle. Let me show you. So there's the gist of it. The hot, the cold, and my spray handle. So anytime you're running the hot or the cold water, you end up getting a steady little stream of water that comes out. You see that? I don't know if the handle's not releasing all the way, but it doesn't make a difference. It's always leaking water out of there. So that's what we're going to fix. So my wife has already picked out a new faucet. So let's take a look at that before we go any farther. Well, there you have it. It's a Moen. And I want to say the faucet, the spray handle pulls out. Well, let's just open it. It'll make sense. Looks like you got our instructions, advertisements, the soap dispenser bottle. My wife wants to replace the current spray nozzle with this soap dispenser. That's a little weight that pulls the hose down. And that is probably a tool because it's got stuff at each end. Why don't I get everything out of the box and put it on the table here. Looks like this long hose is going to be the one for the handle. It's just going to screw on for sure. And then it's going to fish through, and that's probably going to be like that. And the other end is going to go, and then it's just literally going to slide on there like that. There'll be a weight that gets attached, and the weight always pulls that snug up top. I don't want to connect anything until I get all these through my one hole. I like that, the fact that they put a nice big red thing on the side that's supposed to be for hot. That makes it a lot easier. Looks like the whole faucet will end up going through the sink. And our faucet has more than one hole, I'm pretty sure. Ours probably looks like this. It'll have 3 holes. So we're going to use that pretty little adapter plate. Yeah, probably nothing too major. This is our next headache here, is all the stuff that's under the sink. I'll get this all emptied out for the most part. This is like the desk drawer we did a couple days ago. I just click on each side and this all comes out at once, which makes that a little easier. Okay, it's all cleared out. That's where it was leaking. Not really too bad under here, all things considered. I'm going to get the vacuum cleaner and vacuum this out before I get started. You got to love small spaces. Spider webs. Don't like spider webs. Don't like spiders. Not really. First step is to turn off the water. Hot and cold. Can we see? You can see for the most part these things just screw off. I love the plastic ones because they don't lock up over time like the the old metal on metal. And you see how these work? They just literally turn off. That's the hot and the cold. And these, I might have to go get a pair of pliers for that side. Sorry, it's hard to hold the light. Yeah. Get a pair of pliers. I'm just gonna get some wire cutters and cut this. Let me go get some tools now that I know what I need. I think between these will work. I got some wedges, little channel locks, smaller channel locks, and a Stanley knife. Now, let's see, where were we? So I've got my channel locks adjusted. Once it's loose, it should be loose and come right off. There we go. Probably have some water come down. There we go. And the other one is of an older style. This one should be the same way. Just once we get it loosened, it should come off. There we go. Here's that one. I don't plan on using any of this over again, so I'm just going to cut this out of the way. There we go. That's out of there. My pliers are on this one easier. There we go. And once it's started, it should be pretty easy. There we go. That one's done. Now I can unscrew this. Same way again, if we can just get this one started, it should come right off. And that might have been enough. Here we go. Same thing again. Let's get and that is it. It should lift right on out. Ow. And you can see I got a little bit wet cramped position I'm in, but we're done underneath at the moment. At least unlike other plumbing fixtures, it was just clean water coming down on me. I've done other plumbing work that hasn't been quite as nice. All right, I got to give my body a few minutes break, so I'm going to go ahead and clean up some of my mess. And when I get back to work, I'll turn the camera back on. So going out to the bus stop and waiting for my grandson, that little walk's all I needed to sort of straighten back up. All right, now we can just literally pull the old faucet out. And you can see it is just like one we're going to put in. There's really not much to it. And the spray nozzle was attached at the bottom. And this is probably just a decorative ring or something, I bet. Yep, a decorative ring. And that is probably just going to go down, I would think. Who knows? What's the deal with this? So the new plastic trim that's going to go here is not going to cover up all this yucky stuff. And the easiest way to get rid of this stuff is just to literally scrape it off. Don't dig in deep. You don't want to gouge the stainless steel. We're just trying to get the big stuff off. And the stainless steel should be sort of brushed. In other words, it's going to be like a piece of wood. It's going to have a grain. All the streaks are going to go one direction. So you're going to want to go in the same direction. And you can just take the green scouring part and get the rest. Still got a little bit right here. Just a little bit. Now let's see if I can get this. And that one's the same way too. I must have put this one in at some point a while back, because that is not a perfect hole. That's probably the reason why that thing was hung up on it. You can see it's a little jagged compared to those holes. So the directions are showing a metal plate and a piece of plastic being put on it. And it's showing some little tabs that get pushed in. And those are the little tabs. And they are going to go in the corners on this particular one. So we will push them in again. And then that just goes onto the sink. And it's going to go like that. So our directions are showing this plastic ring going down over the one hole and this going on top. But what it's not telling you is that this still needs to go on top of that. So let's feed it all the way up around everything. And it's going to go right there. And that's going to end up providing a gasket. So all these are going to go through it. So let's put one in there. And then two in there. Okay. Since that's awful big, let's put that in by itself. Get that through the hole. That through the hole. And then this through the hole. And then this last part here through the hole. Let's try to get this to lined up. Here we go. Our pictures are showing this off to the side, which would make sense because I see a little mowing right there. Probably wants some mowing right up front. So I'm looking at this diagram, and we're going to slip that up over the threaded part, and then we're going to use that little nut. And they're telling us to get leverage on it, we are going to use their tool. It's got a little gasket that goes there. It goes like that. Just to let you know, eventually we'll have our soap dispenser, but at the moment it gets nothing. And it has a big washer that screws in underneath it. Okay, back into the belly of the piece. Let the games begin, right? Okay, this is the piece that would go on first. And then we put our bolt on. I need to go check and make sure that it's lined up right up top and then get back under here. Oh, jeez. It was actually pretty good, wasn't it? I think that is it. Time for the screwdriver. I don't want to go any tighter because I'm afraid if I do, I might break it. No. This was the hot side and it went to the hot side. I think that one's tight. And that feels tight. Okay, this is going to be the center nozzle that takes hot and cold water up to the spray handle. And it just ends up clicking in here. And I couldn't get it to go in. And that's when I realized that there was a plastic cover that was protecting the black O-ring. And once I realized that and take that plastic cover off, it just snaps right in. And like I said, that's going to be the hose that's going to go to the spray nozzle that you can grab from the top of the faucet. I had to disconnect it because I didn't realize there was a nut that protected the threads at the bottom so the weight wouldn't be banging up against it. So like I said, you just push the button and it clicks in. All of them have something like that, some way to disconnect and connect that center line. And here's the weight, and this weight, like I said, goes on here, and that's going to keep the part that you can grab up top tight against the end of the faucet, so it's just not hanging loose. The only thing that's left is that above us. Now the bottle gets screwed in. There we go. All right, all the stuff underneath the sink is done. We just have to try it out, and if it works, we can put everything back away. There we have it. Water, cold, hot, in between. Let's see. Spray, normal spray, complete, and it's done right. So the faucet's been installed, and that wraps up this video. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.